After the success of our behind the scenes interviews, we're now having a look at the people who actually make the club tick with the volunteers. Starting today with Les Rooney, who is technically phrased as our head of technical services. Les has been with the club, as he will tell you, for a few years, and as I say, Les will be the first one. We've got a few of these coming up and we hope you enjoy them, and we'll be bringing them over the course of the next few weeks. Now Les is relatively new to the club. You've been coming how many years, Les?
Around 14.
14 years, and you started off as a supporter?
Yeah, I initially had some friends in Southport, and suddenly they said one day, "Oh, we're going to a football match." And initially I was sort of, I'm what you might call an Everton supporter turned Southport, but I see myself more now a Southport supporter, maybe Everton.
We've converted you.
Yeah. So they said, I said, "What football match?" And they said, "We're going to go to Southport." So I came along that day, and basically I just kept coming. They all tailed off, incidentally, the friends that initially brought me here, and they sort of tailed off. So initially for the first 6-7 years I was a supporter like everybody else who just kept coming to the matches, and sort of like the atmosphere of a non-league football club.
Yeah, and you've enjoyed the football side as well as the volunteering.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember there was one season that I didn't see us win at home from October till I think it was something like March.
Oh gosh.
So that was a bit painful. But yeah, it's just the atmosphere. It's totally different to a Premiership match where you're more involved, you're closer, and you see the same people every match, and you get to be friends with people.
Yeah. So how did your volunteering start at the club?
Well, initially it was James Cave and Paul Glendenning who did the match day announcing back then, and I think one day I just heard them say, this tannoy system's getting on nerves, it doesn't work all the time. And my background as a job is I'm an electrical engineer, but my hobby is sound engineering. So they mentioned this, and I said, I'll have a quick look at it. And obviously back in the day it was Hayden, and obviously Hayden would jump on anyone who would do anything for nothing. But it worked both ways, because I got to exercise my hobby, and the club got their PA system upgraded and maintained for free, and that's how it went on for several seasons.
The speaker system was in drastic need of repair. I think when you did it, you found one or two things that needed upgrading, should we say?
Yeah, I don't think it'd been looked at. I think there've been several people who've played about with it, and it did take me 3 days one summer to just literally trace all the cables and figure out what they all did. But we got there in the end, and I'd like to think I improved it.
Yeah, no, very definitely. You can tell the difference, can't you? And
yeah.
You can actually hear it from the press box on the other side now, can't you, and everything. So, one of your other roles has been the tannoy announcing. It's a role you're sort of under sometimes, don't you?
It's something I always said I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
I don't really like doing it, and I'm sure there's lots of people that don't like me doing it as well. But it's not an easy thing to do, and I praise anybody really that takes it on. And I know it might sound like it's an easy thing to do, but we've had a few people have had a go, haven't we, over the past couple of seasons. And I just came in one day, and James, club secretary, just said to me, "Can you do the match day announcing?" And I said, I don't really want to do that. And it was literally a case of there's no one else. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a nerve-wracking thing to do, because you can't take back anything or redo anything that you say over a public address system. Once you've said it, it's out there, and that's it. If you've made a mistake, all you can do is apologise or just keep quiet.
It doesn't help when the assistant referees put up wrong number boards, does it? And the wrong sub comes on.
We've had that a few times, haven't we? Yeah. Where the replacement player doesn't actually exist on the play sheet, on the team sheet. So yeah, it's you can make mistakes, and as I say, I praise anybody who does it. Nicola does a great job of it, I think, but she enjoys doing it, and I think you have to enjoy doing it to do it well. But yeah, I'd quite happily put the invite out there to anybody who would like to have a go.
Yeah. I think your technical services, you've understated that a little bit. I've seen you when there's an emergency and the lights suddenly flicker and you jump up like a scalded cat, don't you, and take action. What sorts of things have you had to deal with here, Les?
Well, we hark back to the Tranmere match, don't we, when we were live on TV, and just about everything that could go wrong went wrong. Obviously the stand had just been refurbished and everything was new. The main stand lights failed, and I remember being down in the power room with my head stuck in a cabinet on the phone to an engineer, trying to work out how we can get them back on. And then almost straight after that, where I thought, right, I can sit down, relax and enjoy the atmosphere, we've got a full ground, and then all the power went off, all at the Jack Car end. So yeah, I always think that, I always say to people when they say, oh, why'd you go there, why'd you do what you do? And I would say it's a bit of stress relief, but not that night, because obviously it's a football ground, and if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong in those 90 minutes, isn't it? Because that's the only time anything gets used.
It's not just match day that you're here though, is it? Because I've seen you here in the summer sometimes, and I shouldn't mention this, but climbing up the odd ladder, Les, which you're not supposed to talk about.
Well,
but,
I've thought about that actually. I'm quite selfish in a way, because I don't actually ask anyone in the club, like Ian or Steve or Liam, can I do this? I just say to them, oh, I'm coming here next week and I'm going to do this. And I don't know what I'd do if they said, no, you can't do that.
I don't think they'll ever say that to a willing
But
volunteer.
they've never said no. I mean, one of my projects, after that Tranmere match, when we had all the BT wagons outside on Hague Ave, and everything was lit up, I thought this is something we need to do all the time. And my project, I started it then, and I thought my project now for next summer is to get the front of the stand lit up. Because it always looks like we're closed, you know, of an evening match. There was nothing lit up. And that was my little project, that was my big project for last summer, was to get some lighting up outside. And so I always think it's our team's home, and you have to be proud of your home.
Good, yeah.
And I think that's
so what did that
that's
actually
what we all
involve?
do.
What did that involve?
Basically, we already had lighting outside, which was old and partially not working. So basically, it was just a case of, because of the job I do, I'm able to source. And I get told about things that are going cheap, maybe, you know. So I basically spent half the season just sourcing all the lights, and I spent the day just installing them. As I say, I'm an electrical engineer. That's my job. Multidisciplined. I fix laboratory equipment, so it's multidisciplined. And I use my skills really just to, you know, help the club out. I like to make it, you know, a nice place to come to every other Saturday.
Do you get a nice sense of pride though when you see it? Because it does look fantastic out there now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a sense of pride when I come and see things I've done. Because as I say, it's our home. You know, it's our football team's home. And you know, when I used to go to Goodison, and you'd be walking up to Goodison and it'd be all lit up, and I was just thinking, why can't our ground be like that? It's, you know, it's our home. And I know we're never going to win the FA Cup, and I think it would take a huge leap of faith and a change in mentality around the club for us to get into league football again. But it doesn't mean it can't be a nice place to come every other Saturday, and it doesn't mean it can't be a great thing to be part of.
So we've fully ingrained you as a Southport fan, volunteer now?
Yeah, I think, I mean, as I say, I do sometimes sit there up in the press box, and then you just think, well, I'm here because it's fun. It's like, you know, it's like a social thing as well, and you try, and I think all of us in the volunteers try and make it a better place to come. And also as like I say, it's like a stress relief from everyday life, where you turn up here and you have one thing to do, and that's put a football match on. And once the full-time whistle's gone and you've done that, you know, you've been successful, it's complete.
What do you think is the worst thing that could happen for you on a match day then?
I think it's all happened, hasn't it? Really? Lights failing, tannoys. I mean, obviously when the main stand was refurbished, and then, you know, fortunately or unfortunately, whichever side of the fence you sit on, Phil left us, and obviously took, you know, the majority of the money, and it wasn't finished. It left us sort of halfy-halfy. So I've had to have a look at what we've got. And I've been in contact with the people that installed the tannoy in the main stand, but obviously they didn't continue on that because it was sort of supposed to have all been done. And so it's been a bit challenging, because not in control, whereas previously it was all my equipment, I put it in, I knew exactly what it was and I was in control of it. And there's obviously, with new equipment, it's all software driven, so if you want to do anything, you've got to get the people in that installed it, and it's been a bit of a challenge in that way.
I think you're also responsible for the scoreboard?
Yes, I've fixed that on occasion, but obviously there's only so far you can go with things like that. If you need parts or technical advice on particular things, then obviously we have to call people in. But as far as I can go, my skills are available to the club, and I'm quite happy to do that.
Yeah. And I think also you've been responsible for some of the signage that's gone up, some of the new signs that have been put up.
Yeah, again, it's just trying to bring a sense of pride. I think, myself, Hamish and Dave, we tried to, obviously when we realised that the main stand wasn't going to be totally completed and it sort of left the tunnel and the players' entrance, it used to be like walking into a social club, didn't it? Walking to the players' entrance in 1982, with patterned carpet and all lighting. And there was nothing, I remember walking in, there was nothing actually here to say we're walking into Southport Football Club. And I always think, well, as the players, wouldn't it be nice to come in and give them I don't know if they do get a sense of pride, I don't know. And I'd say, well, let's put a sign, let's put some new lighting in, let's get it nice and bright. And in conjunction with the lights outside, it's just about a case of giving our players, our team and supporters a sense of, occasion, when you come to a match.
Yeah, like you say, it's always nice to win. I think as a volunteer, we all come here to do it for the love of the club, but we do like to see our team win now and again, don't we?
We do. A little bit of success sometimes, you need to be, that's how we're repaid, isn't it? With that little bit of success and those little glory nights when the TV are here and, when we do the FA Cup.
I think, like you say, the Tranmere night was a big test for everybody, wasn't it? Both off the field.
Yeah, it was a huge test for everyone, you in the media team, because all eyes were sort of on us, and you get that sense, don't you, that, there's a lot of people here, we're on TV, and what impression are people going to get from our football club?
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for taking the time to speak to us, Les. Les is the first of our volunteers that's come to the hot seat, as it were, to answer a few questions. We've got a few more coming up over the next few weeks, so stay tuned.